recently was watching a video that my cousin Debbie Knoblauch did where she was showing like a haul of some makeup that she got from Mercari. And she finds such great finds on there for brand new palettes, for gently used palettes that she just scrapes the top layer off of. I may have taken some inspiration from her, which you will be seeing at a later date. But she just finds like these great deals on makeup, and it's a great way to be able to try things that she might not try otherwise. And so she was showing some things that she had gotten, and she showed a palette that I was like, oh, I just got that right before Christmas in a giveaway that I had won, and I hadn't touched it yet. So I was like, ooh, it would be really fun to do a collab with her on it. Now, you may remember right before Christmas, I said, like, I'm not doing collabs for a while, at least till after the holidays, because things just get really crazy. And I kind of still feel that way. Like, I want to be able to do collabs here and there, but I don't want to do more than probably one a month, to be honest with you, because it just gets a little overwhelming to me. And especially right now, this season with my kids and stuff, it's just too much. Like, it's just another date, like, time. You know what I mean? What am I trying to say? You know, like a deadline that I have, it makes me feel like. So, yeah, so I'm just easing back in. But Debbie is my cousin who I love very much, and I love the makeup she does and just everything about her. And so I was like, when I saw that she had this palette and I had it too, I was like, oh, this would be so fun to do together. And since we're right about the same age, we both were teenagers in the 90s, and that was, you know, the grunge era. And this palette screams grunge to me, so you saw in the title, but it's the Nomad Berlin Underground palette. And the colors look like this. And when I saw this palette, I'm like, that is like just a grungy look waiting to happen. And so I thought, you know what? Let's just, you know, go back to my 90s, you know, teenage years and do something a little grungy. Now, so I'm just going to go ahead and start these. I've only ever touched some of these just to like swatch them and see what the colors were like. So I have not done a look yet. So my eyes are instantly drawn to the greens and golds, but I do looks like that a lot. So I want to try to make it grungy without necessarily doing my comfort zone. So I think I definitely want to use some of these over here, but also with some green. So we're just going to we're going to play and see what happens. Also, I still have my makeup on that I wore to work today. And I just cleaned my eye makeup off because I would have done this in the morning, but when I'm getting ready for work in the morning, I would have to get up super early to be able to film a video while I'm doing it, and I don't like getting up early, and I already get up at 6, so I'm like, no thank you, not getting up earlier than that. Okay, so the only matte in this palette is this right here, so I'm going to go ahead and take that and just kind of transition it out here. Yeah, but Debbie finds, like, oh my gosh, such good makeup deals. Ooh. Okay, do you guys see? I have not used a Nomad eyeshadow before. Do you see this pigmentation? And how nicely it's just blending across my... Like, are you kidding me? Like, I think I might just need one brushful on each eye. That, like, hardly ever happens. That's gorgeous, and I love the color of it too. Sort of like a burnt orange kind of terracotta. Ooh, I like that. Okay, cool. This is a good start. But yeah, Debbie finds such great deals and gets really beautiful palettes. And especially like if you are somebody who doesn't get like say BoxyCharm or things like that, and you see like the palettes people get in them and are like, oh, I wish I had that. If you go on like Poshmark and Mercari and stuff, a lot of people sell them on there, that, you know, ones that they aren't going to use. So that's a great way to be able to get your hands on one. Now you have to watch because some people decide they think they should make a fortune off them for some reason. And so obviously you just have to know like what the price should be and then hopefully get it cheaper or at least, you know, whatever. I go for cheaper. But yeah. I don't know why I just dipped back into that because I really didn't need to. Okay, so there is that color is gorgeous. Like, I am loving that. Okay. So far, so good, Nomad. All right. Now, I decided I wanted to kind of do a little bit different technique because I feel like I'm just doing the same thing over and over all the time, and you guys are probably like, I've seen that 100 times. Tired of it. So I'm going to try to switch things up just a tad. So I think I'm going to take first this Techno, which is kind of like this gunmetal kind of color over here. And I'm going to do it at the inner corners and outer. Okay, so like I said, I was a teenager in the 90s. However, I wasn't like really into grunge. Like I didn't dress grungy. I didn't like, sorry if this offends anyone, but I am not a fan of Nirvana. Never was, never will be. Like it just is not music that I enjoyed. I did like Pearl Jam and Bush and stuff, but yeah, Nirvana was not. That seems to be who people first think of when they think of the grunge era, and that was not my jam. But I don't know, like as far as it being like that time frame, it's not like I really fit into that, you know, genre or really like took it on. However, being a teenager in the 90s, I look back at stuff and I'm like, seriously? It was like, you know, when I had like my best body, when I was like the skinniest, and you know, things hadn't moved in all sorts of strange places from having children in my body and things like that. And we wore huge, oversized stuff. Like, really? I mean, seriously? I look back at pictures and stuff. I used to wear, okay, so my dad is 6'5", and typically would sit right around like 290. I would wear his shirts with jeans to school. Like, really? I mean, how ridiculous. And I'm not even 5'1". So that tells you, not even 5'1", and I weighed probably, I'd say in high school, probably right about I think like 120 was like the high end. And wore my dad, who was 6'5" and 290s shirts. Like, how obnoxious. But that was what I did. But you know, I can't really say that I had a style per se, and I still don't think that I necessarily do like stick with one style. I just have always worn what I like. So whatever that may be, that's what I do. And yeah, it just kind of, I actually remember a girl in high school saying to me, she's a year older than me, and I see her all the time now too, because her kids still go to the same school that we went to, and so do mine, and all that kind of stuff. So we see each other quite a bit. But I remember her saying to me in high school, like, I love your style. You just wear whatever you want, and you put together like whatever you want. And I was like, oh, thanks, because I definitely went through a 70s phase. I was very much into going to thrift stores and finding pieces from the 70s and embellishing jeans with patches and little beads, and like I got real artsy with my jeans. But yeah, I would wear like just really fun like 70s-ish stuff. I loved that so much. Seriously, if there was an era to live in, like as far as style, 70s for me would be it. Like just flowy like shirts and like bell bottoms and stuff. I love that. The 80s, ugh, that's about the last era I would want to have been a teenager in. And 90s is like, you know, kind of thing. But 70s, heck yeah. Okay. So then I am loving this East Side Gallery. It's kind of like a cobalt blue, I would say. Maybe not cobalt. It's like a, what am I trying to say? I don't know. It's like an icy dark blue, not cobalt. I don't know what word I'm trying to say. Whatever. It's pretty. So I'm just going to use this. Actually, is that what I want to do next? No, I think I'm going to go in with this green first. But yeah, it's just kind of funny when you think back to like what was popular in your high school days. And like when I saw this palette, I immediately thought grungy, because it just has a grungy vibe. But yeah, I was not of the grungy variety, if you will. Like I was not flannels and concert t-shirts. My husband, however, absolutely was. So that cracks me up. I love thinking back to stuff like that, like the way we were, because we grew up together. Like we've been friends since we were 6 years old. So we have known each other almost our whole lives. Pretty much the part of your life that you can remember. And so it's just kind of funny to think of, like, clothes we wore and stuff in high school. And actually, my youngest son yesterday was showing us, one of his classmates found a yearbook from 1995. We graduated in 96, and but they found the 1995 yearbook and found me in it first, and then found him and whatever. It's so funny. I love it. So my son took like pictures of the pictures. I'm like, I have those yearbooks somewhere. But the kids all were like, thought it was funny, whatever. It's kind of fun to see people's parents, what they looked like when they were in school. Of course, there's the picture from our senior year that hangs in the hallway at the school, so people see that one. But they were excited to see us in 1995, and everyone's like, "Your mom hasn't changed." I've changed. You know, what I definitely noticed when I look back at pictures is how much like fuller my face was, and not because I weighed more, but just your youthfulness. You know, usually you tend to be a little more like full in the face. I'm like, huh, I must be getting old. I'm just kidding. I don't feel old at all. Okay, now I'm going into that blue. I'm going to take that in the middle here. We're just kind of doing a mashup here. I don't really know what's going to happen. But I wanted to try some of these different colors. I can't wait to see what Debbie does, because I bet hers is going to be awesome. Yeah, this, I don't even know, like, you can't really tell the distinction between the colors, so I don't know. It's not really translating the way I had it in my mind, but you know, that's alright. That's the fun of playing with a new palette and getting a feel for it. I do really like these colors though. Alright. What do we want to do? I think I'm going to get a little crazy with it, okay? Go with me here. I think I'm going to take this black down here. Now, it's got some glitter in it. I don't know if that will, actually translate, because you know how sometimes shades like that. Whoa, I just almost said a bad word. Sorry. How sometimes shades like that don't really translate that great, but we shall see. Or like the glitter doesn't translate, it just kind of goes away. Okay. So I'm going to try to really like darken this up and make it grungy. So we are going to see, I'm going to start slow with that black because I don't want to get crazy with how pigmented the brown was. Ooh, and this does not disappoint. Look at that. Like, I am truly impressed with these shadows. For there only being that one matte and then like this, you know, matte with a little bit of glitter, which, yeah, it's hard for me to tell if you can see the glitter or not. I don't really care, but look at how well it's like, how far it goes. I just very lightly tapped into it. That's awesome. So, word of caution, if you have this palette and haven't used it yet, or if you get it, go slow. Go slow and build. It's usually a good policy with most things when you use them the first time before you figure out kind of what, you know, how they perform or whatever. But yeah, I can't wait to see. Debbie always does something pretty and cool, so I'm like, I thought it would be fun to do something grungy because neither of us, like, that's not our, you know, like makeup aesthetic. So I thought it would be really fun to see what each of us would do with a grungy kind of look. So you guys let me know, were you a teenager in the grunge era? And like, it's not era, whatever it's called. Is that era? Maybe, whatever. And like, were you like the grungy type, like the flannels and jean shorts and, you know, whatever. I never did that, even though that was like the thing, which cracks me up how it's all like come back. So funny. And big chunky shoes, I remember were in for a while too, and I had some, but they were like black and stuff. They weren't, I'm sorry if I don't want to offend anyone, but the hideous gigantic white tennis shoes that people are wearing right now, I cannot handle. I really feel like people are going to look back and be like, what was that? Like, I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. I don't understand how some of these things take off. And there's like these girls, these skinny little girls, not little girl, I mean just girls in general, skinny legs, and then these gigantic shoes that look like their legs are going to break off if they take a step. I just don't get it at all. It's like just clunky and weird and big and white, and like a grandpa should be wearing them, not like a fashionable girl. I don't get it at all. But maybe that's just me. You guys let me know what you think of those. And please don't be offended. If it's something you like what you like. Everybody likes their thing. I just personally don't get it. But there's probably things about me that people don't get either. It's just the way the world goes, right? And truthfully, with fashion, I like, you know, that people have their own styles. That's why I'm not real big on super like trend type stuff, because I feel like that's not like your style. That's like mimicking something that's popular. You know what I mean? So like, I mean, but if it's something you really like, then yeah, like wear it. But like people who just go from trend to trend, like that's not you. That's, you know, like somebody else deciding for you. Like, I like when people have distinctly, even if it's totally out there, when they have a style that is distinctly theirs, I like so appreciate that, because I just think that's so fun. Like, such a good form of self-expression. As long as you don't have body parts hanging out places that are inappropriate. Keep your goodies put away, and then I'm fine with whatever you decide to wear. Okay, so I'm going to go back into that blue that I did in the middle. I'm going to try it with my finger and see if that helps make it, just give it a little more oomph, you know? No, I'm fine. All right. Maybe a tiny bit. I think it does make it stand out a little bit more. Of course, I just touched way up at the top of my eyelid, but it transfers there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now underneath, definitely want to do that black and do that up close to the lash line. I wonder if Debbie's gonna use like the purples. They're so pretty. But in my mind I was like dark, and well, I say purples, there's really only one purple. And that is dark, so that would be a good one to use too. Dang it, why didn't I use that? Do you ever have like a palette that like you're using it and then you look at it like in the middle of a look and go, wait a minute, like I didn't notice that color. Like, oh, I should have used that. Do that sometimes. This is one of those times. Okay. And then I'm going to take a little pencil brush, wherever that may be, because all of my brushes like to be elusive when I need them. Okay. And I'm going to go back into that first like brownish shade that I did. The only matte, really. I just kind of smudge that out. Yep, looking dark and grungy. Yeah, like, I mean, grungy kind of equates to dirty to me. And, oh my gosh, that makes me, oh my gosh, this is so funny. Again, don't be offended. But, I feel like it's weird that you have to say that. Like, I'm not really saying something offensive, but people find offense with everything, it seems like. So, like, you feel like you have to say it. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, my sister, that's 2 years younger than me, she obviously was a teenager in the 90s too. And she, like, loved Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. And so, and she still does. And so this one day, this was several years ago, it was like Christmas or something, and we were talking like with one of my cousins who was also a teenager in the 90s, like whatever. A lot of us are the same age. And my sister was talking about Eddie Vedder and how hot he is or something, and so was my cousin and whatever. I don't really see it, but whatever. And my sister's husband just goes, he looks like he smells like pee. We laughed so hard because if you've seen him like over the past several years, like he does kind of have that look to him. I don't know. It was like the funniest thing ever. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, are you a little jealous that she's like so into this guy or whatever? Like you have to like call him out like that. It was so funny though. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm looking a little raccoonish. So let's do, should we do like, I'm going to do inner corner, but I'm not going to do a really light color. I'm going to do this, the wall, which is just a lighter, where is it at? Right here. Like a lighter, like greenish taupe. I don't know. Some of these colors I have a hard time describing. But yeah, so it's a little lighter, but it's not like super light. I think that was a good choice. Go Danielle. Sometimes you have to like give yourself a little pep talk, like, yup, you got it. And it's actually a really pretty color. I like that a lot. My skin is freaking out right now. For one, because I went to bed without washing my face the other night, and anytime I do that, I pay for it. And then there's something else that I think might be causing it, but I'm gonna wait till I know for sure before I say. Okay, so that's that. So let's go ahead and do liner. I'm gonna do black liner and tightline my upper lash line. Okay, and then instead of doing black, I thought it might be fun to do a little bit of color. So I'm gonna use the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in Joyride, and it's just kind of a, you know, like a burgundy red. And then I'm gonna go ahead, I poked myself, I'm gonna go ahead and use my lash curler, and I'm just gonna curl my lashes and do some mascara here. And then we will do lips, my Bad Gal Bang mascara. I love this stuff. The wand is just like perfect on it. I don't know. I really, really like it. I did get a tiny little bit of fallout from the shadows, but not much. And I mean, I was really packing it on that little brush. So I think that's part of the reason it probably wouldn't have happened if I had done it with a little different brush. But it was like, I just wiped it away with my finger. I didn't even use like a powder brush or anything, and it did absolutely fine. So that's good. All right. And then for lips, I thought it would be fun to use my NYX Liquid Suede in Sandstorm, because I feel like it's just kind of like a grungy kind of look. Like I feel like it will go good with this look. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and this is my final grungy kind of look. And I do feel like I look pretty grungy. I do like this lip color with it because I feel like it just goes well with the eye look and keeping with the theme. So I'm going to show you my eyes up close. You can't really tell the variance in the, because I used 3 different of those shimmer shades on my lids, but you can't, I don't know if you'll be able to tell or not. But I did use that Joyride and the waterline to just give, it's not showing up super well, but it's kind of a little bit of a reddish tint to just kind of give a little flair, a little something extra. If you haven't seen it yet, I will go ahead and link up here the video for if I had my own makeup brand, because Debbie actually tagged me in that, and I kind of mentioned about my love for, you know, Pepsi color and the waterline. But yeah, so this is my grungy look, and I do makeup much better now than I did in the 90s. Because if I could go back and do these looks at that time, maybe I would have. But yeah, so that is my grungy look with the Nomad Berlin Underground palette. And again, this is what the shades look like. And they're so pretty. And I really would love to get into some of this stuff here because, you know what, let's just take some of that purple just for the heck of it and put it right in the center and see if it even shows up. I don't think it's going to actually, because over top of that blue, I can see it ever so slightly. I just feel like now I want to play with all these colors. But anyway, that is my, yeah, it's not showing up too much. The colors are all just kind of going into each other. So I think I would have to use, I think this would be a great palette to use in conjunction with some other palettes and just kind of make some of these shimmers be kind of the star of the show, you know. And I'm sure these golds are gorgeous. So that is my grungy look. I can't wait to see Debbie's, and you'll want to see it too. So head right over to her channel and tell her I said hello and see what kind of grungy look she comes up with. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this and just a little chit chat. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.